Hello, this is Paul Masters, and in this episode, I want to talk about why it's important to question your relationships and friendships. Let's go. So first things first, you have to account for all the people that are important to you in your life. That's step one. How do you do this? You think of everyone that you interact with on a regular basis. Regular basis is probably close to that 4, 5, 6, 7 times a week mark. So at least 4 times a week. If you're communicating with them every day, you put them on the list. That's step one. Once you've identified the people that are closest to you in your life, you move to step two. Step two is you're going to associate them with the relationship or with the need that they fill in your life. So for example, you have a friend that you like to gossip with, write that about them. Don't show them that though. Obviously they don't understand the project, so they might get a little offended. Maybe somebody is somebody you only talk about work with. It's a work friend, work relationship, business oriented stuff. That's okay too. Somebody may be just a physical or emotional relationship that you have with them. That's perfectly fine as well. And then, of course, you have a family and relatives and things like that, but they all serve some kind of a purpose. So you want to clearly identify what that purpose is. And then step 3, the most important step is, does that relationship move you forward or move you backwards in terms of what you're trying to achieve, what you're trying to become? Is that friendship helping you? Or is that friendship hurting you and wasting your time, for example, or kind of going in a circle with somebody could be signified as something that is not an added value in your life. So once you've sort of gone through the list, you want to put a check mark next to the relationship that you're sure of is adding value because you're getting something from the relationship and they're getting something from the relationship and it's growing and it's evolving. So it's a positive check mark. And then put really nice X's next to the people that you are questioning. Hey, is this relationship the one that I want in my life right now? Is this a positive relationship for me in terms of what I want to accomplish? If I'm talking to a friend and we're constantly complaining or they're constantly complaining, is that the type of relationship that I want in my life? And here's what's challenging about this. What's challenging about this is that these are good people that you've grown to love. And we're going to have to make some decisions about whether or not it's best that you continue in that relationship. But don't worry, not in the severing of ties necessarily, but in the adjustment of the relationship, which has to be an active effort. So let me explain as we're moving to the next and final stage of the process. And that final stage of the process of evaluating the people closest to you to make sure that they're adding value to your life is to adjust the relationship to a place where you are seeing more value. So for example, if you're talking with somebody that you're friends with and that relationship is a complaining relationship, you guys complain to one another, or that person vents and complains to you and you just, yeah, totally, I get it, like completely, oh yeah, and you realize there's really no value there, but you love the person, there's so much more. When you meet or when you interact with this person, simply express to them your need, your desire to be a better friend with them. For example, let's go back to that complainer relationship. So you're on the phone with that person and you say, hey, by the way, I noticed that we're always talking about like negative stuff. Let's talk about something that we're both interested in. Let's talk about like whatever, or what else are you interested in besides any of that stuff, you know? And you have to give that the good try because you want to salvage the relationship, but you have to adjust it in a way where you are communicating like, hey, I want to better this friendship and I think we can be a lot more. And that's an honest conversation to have with somebody, and a lot of people don't have it. But the problem is that person sucks time out of your life, and unfortunately, you're doing the same for them, but you have the benefit of this little conversation that we're having right now. And so you are now responsible for educating that person on this information, and they need to evaluate that as well. And then, as you can see, once you open that door to say, I want a better relationship with this person, and you give it the good old try, if that relationship is not shifting, you now have to come clean and say, look, unfortunately, this relationship isn't really going to work for me. So listen, if you are, interested in, growing, or you're interested in, changing or shifting thinking or learning on how to handle this stuff better, then I'd love to reconnect with you and connect on some other things. But at this time, I just don't have the emotional and mental capacity to pursue this relationship. Repeat after me. I just don't have the emotional or mental capacity to move forward with this relationship. It's a very, very important and honest thing to do with people, because you have people that don't evolve with you in your life, and they kind of just hang back, and you tap on them because you need a little something, maybe somebody to vent to. That's not fair to that person, and vice versa. So we're going back and using that venting example or complaining example as a drastic example throughout this whole dialogue, right? So now that you've gone through all these steps, you're going to clean up some space. And so the final thing you should do with all this is really enjoy. Enjoy the free time that you have. Enjoy the cords that you may have cut over time. But most importantly, enjoy the change, the incredible change that you have now with those people that are important to you, because you got into a cycle with them, a routine of a friendship that may no longer be viable. People change and they evolve together. And a lot of people think that just because they had a friendship of some kind with somebody, that has to be the type of relationship they have going forward. And the truth is that you don't. You have a choice. So every 3, 6, 9, 12 months, you should be going through this process of these steps. Pin this video, save this video for your reminder to reevaluate those relationships, because every single year we are completely different than the people we were before. And those relationships need to be adjusted. And sometimes space needs to be created in order for us to move on to the next phase of our lives. So stop being in that same cyclical loop with the same cyclical people, with the same cyclical actions and the same conversations. Create change by creating awareness. With this knowledge, you can do it. And when they have that knowledge as well, they're going to reciprocate in the best possible way. So here's to having some really, really good new relationships with the people that you love most. This has been Paul. Hope you enjoyed. Hope that's helped you. I'll see you soon. Bye.